The story for us from outside KPMG's offices. Kevin, good afternoon to you. How is KPMG's International Office responding to news that the Auditor General of South Africa has decided to cut ties with its South African branch?
Well, that's what we're trying to get. We are here trying to get reaction from KPMG International and also to find out exactly the relationship between KPMG International to KPMG South Africa. How much are they aware of some of the issues that the South Africa firm is facing? What are some of their concerns? What are some of the things that they want to do forward now, given this very strong statement from the Auditor General?
Well, we know when the scandal broke locally here in South Africa about KPMG that one of the first measures it took was to go to the international office to get a sort of internalized opinion of exactly what had happened here. Have we heard back from the international branch at all as to how it feels about the conduct of the South African branch?
Not yet. We do have to give them some time. This news is just breaking. We're just trying to reach out to them now. But it's very clear, though, that regardless of where they stand with all of this, KPMG International is very much aware of some of the problems. When the South Africa firm, the South Africa branch, announced that it's going to start doing internal audits of its own employees every 2 years, the South Africa branch said it's going to be doing that via an independent party, but also within coordination of KPMG International. So obviously, here in the Netherlands, where the international HQ is based, they definitely want to know what's going on down there in South Africa.
So the question has arisen, since this was one of KPMG South Africa's first ports of call when it discovered things were amiss within its ranks, was whether KPMG International was indeed the place to go. It was, number one, not neutral and objective, but simply a broader international extension of what was going on here in South Africa, presumably.
Yes, that's right, and that's again why we're waiting to talk to people with the Global Communications Department to get questions to all of these answers. Really the key here, what we want to know being up here is what is the relationship, what are the concerns the HQ has, what are the potential steps they may take going forward. We know the South African firm already announced a series of measures. We talked about doing the audits of its own employees. There's some other steps it has taken in lieu of those two partners at KPMG South Africa announcing their retirement in connection to the VBS Mutual Bank scandal. So a series of scandals relating to VBS as well as the Gupta family, much going on down at the South African branch. So going to be very interesting to hear from KPMG International as soon as we do, to get their thoughts on all of this that's developing.
Kevin, something I'm interested to know is how the international business is impacted by a scandal of this nature. Does it tend to be contained to the country in which it occurs, or do you think the business as a whole suffers some market reputational damage as a result of this?
That's an excellent question, because you can look at this no matter what the relationship is between the HQ and then the firm in South Africa, that there could potentially be a marketing and PR problem for the company no matter what national firm we're talking about here. We know in terms of what's happening down in South Africa that KPMG South Africa has lost some of its clients from this. Most notably now the South African government, but there's been other private companies that have said they're going to stop their relationship with the firm. So is this translating to other firms by KPMG around the world? So far here in Europe, we haven't seen any indication of that. But one has to wonder, is this starting to become a concern from them?
Good question, Kevin, and I'm sure you and our guys overseas are going to try and answer that in the next few days as you tackle this story.